Okay, so I know this episode review of Arrow is late, and let me explain why. And it comes down to this. It's not because I was, busy or whatever. It's because I had to physically will myself to watch this episode. Arrow this season has gotten so fucking bad that I've had to physically... It's not like with The Flash, where I'm like, new episode of The Flash, yay! Beep. That's me turning on the... whatever. But no, with Arrow, I'm like, oh, I gotta sit through this. And now we know that there's only 5 episodes left this season, and I will say this. I'm gonna stick out for the next 5 episodes, but after that, I don't know if I'll come back for Season 4. I really don't. I really do not know if I'm gonna come back for Season 4 of this series. I really don't know. But yeah. Maybe it'll be better after in these next 5 episodes, and maybe it'll give me enough to check out Season 4, but who knows? As of this moment, I don't know, but I will be sticking with the last 5 episodes of Arrow this season. So this episode is just pretty much everyone, the police versus the Arrow. That's pretty much the episode in a nutshell. And I gotta say, what is it about, when they want to make, Oliver look like the good guy, they decide to make every character stupid. No, really. And here's the biggest problem I had with this episode. Detective Lance, Captain Lance makes a really good point of saying that, Oliver, with all these masks and stuff, all started with him, and it did start out with me trying to get revenge on, for killing Sarah. But in hindsight, look what he's brought with him since he's come back from the island. Merlin, Slade Wilson, all of that. He has brought all of that with him from the island. And in halfway, I kind of agree with him, kind of don't. It's not like with Batman, where you can debate that maybe, Batman creates his own enemies, or not. With Arrow, he does have a hand in making Slade Wilson and a few others, but really, he doesn't really have a hand in making a lot of these villains. Now, on The Flash, it's different, where where Eobard Thawne made all the villains. And, you could pretty much say that The Flash created Captain Cold and the Rogues in general in that series. But with Arrow, you can only say, the ones that he helped to create were Slade Wilson and about 2 other villains. But, yeah. Anyway. Oh, God. But let me tell you about, let me get out the biggest blaring problem with this episode. When Lance was taken to, was captured by the League of Assassins and brought before Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's says, look, we're here for the same thing you are. We want to find Oliver Queen too. And, yeah, and understandably, he doesn't believe a word he says, because he's the head of, the group, the head of the group that, that inadvertently caused his daughter's death. But then, he says, Oliver Queen is the Arrow, to which I reply with, okay, Lance, I know you're smarter than this. Yes, Oliver's done a lot of bad by you, but think about this for just one quick second. Hasn't everyone been telling you that, the Arrow is being framed, and all of these guys have bows and arrows strapped to them, and they're all assassins? Could you not put 2 and 2 to fucking together? I mean, seriously, I figured, Lance would be like, okay, Oliver's done a lot of wrong by me, and I'm not going to work with him anymore. But he still would have been like, oh, he's innocent in these killings, even though he's responsible for my daughter's death, But, however, these people are the ones that were the ones who were truly responsible for my daughter, for the killings of Mayor Castle and several others. These are the guys I should be after, not taking their fucking advice. Oh my god. And yeah, this is why I'm having the biggest problem. Now, Roy is everyone else in here shines, especially my 2 favorite outside of Captain Lance. He was the 3 characters, as you guys know, I really care about are and really think have the best development in here are Lance, even though this one kind of put him 2 steps back in my opinion, and along with Diggle and Roy really shine in here with this episode in general. You have Roy saying, Oliver's done a lot for me in my life. I'd be nothing without him, and he wants to do right by Thea as well. And I'm actually glad Thea and Roy are back together. I kind of like that relationship and how that bonded. So I'm glad Roy and Thea are finally back together. I thought that, that breakup and then that reigniting was pretty fluid, in my opinion. At least in my opinion. But yeah. I'm kind of worried about Roy now. I'm really worried about Roy because now he's revealed himself. He's said that he's the Arrow, and now in the sizzle reel that we have to wait 2 weeks to see the next 5 episodes. It looks like he's going to have a hell of a time in prison. He is terrified, and he's kind of like blaming himself, and he's still, I guess he thinks this is repentance for killing that couple he was under the Mirakuru influence. So, really interested to see how that's going to go down. Anyway, we also have Felicity's mom show up while they're doing the whole story arc with Ray possibly dying, and the only way to save him is with an experimental nanites. Now look, I've said before that it's not Brandon Routh's fault that he's, they're treating him like a bad character. There's good characteristics in him, and I think he really shines when he's not around Felicity. This isn't one of those times where he's not shining, because Felicity's around, and I'm thinking to myself, God, and I know there are fans of Felicity. I was a fan of Felicity in, the first 2 seasons, but now she's really just gotten on my fucking nerves to no goddamn end. And yeah, I cannot be the only one who thinks that, so maybe she'll, I kind of get the sense that she'll die this season. I'm kind of getting the super, I'm starting to get the sense that maybe she's gonna get whacked this season. Anyway, so what else to talk about? Oh yeah, we get Felicity's mom back for whatever the fuck. And yeah, Felicity's still in love with Oliver, even though we went through several story arcs of her saying, I'm not in love with Oliver anymore. Ugh! Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! Stop this fucking merry-go-round! We also get more about her father, which I will admit this, I'm curious to know who her father is. Now, some people are saying that maybe it's Doug Jones's character he's playing, Deathbolt, which is supposed to be in this season. Deathbolt is like this lesser-known Green Arrow villain, so maybe that's who Doug Jones is that he's Deathbolt and Felicity's father. But some people are saying, and I'm actually inclined to believe this one too. I'm actually really inclined to believe this as well. I think Felicity's father, and I think I've said this before, but I think Felicity's father is the Calculator, because they're trying to make her the, Felicity, this universe's oracle. But I think, so I think it would stand to reason that, and they always say how smart her father is, and whenever he's brought up, he's like, oh yeah, if he was here, he'd be arrested. So I'm starting to think that maybe, they can't really use someone like, some other super smart villain. So I think it would stand to reason that someone who's that tech savvy and that good with technology in general, and probably someone we'll never see in the movies, in the DC movies, is probably, I'm gonna have to say maybe it's the Calculator, but who knows? It could be Deathbolt, but I'm gonna until I'm proven wrong, I'm gonna say that maybe her father's the Calculator, because we've been building up him for 2 seasons. So maybe, yeah, it could be the Calculator. Anyway, so, what else with this episode? Oh yeah, the flashbacks with, not Shadow. It turns out to be her twin sister. Woo! How much you bet that she's going to be the one who betrays, Oliver? I'm kind of getting the sense that she was the one who betrayed Oliver and kind of led to all this shit in China. Like the death of Aikido. So, that's what I'm thinking here. But anyway, what else? Not much else I can say, honestly. I really can't find anything else I want to talk about with this episode, other than the action was good. The stuff with Lance, saying, some of the stuff you've created, some of the stuff you didn't, and you did bring back some demons with you from the island. But yeah. Still, I should not be willing myself to watch this show, because, god damn it, was this show spectacular last season. And there have been some good episodes. I will admit that there have been some good episodes this season. However, the bad is really showing. The bad is really showing, especially the Olicity. Ugh. Anyway, So you guys tell me what you guys think of this episode. You guys like it? You guys hate it? Just comment below. Let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.